We are looking at the sequel to the Air Max TN. Today we have the new Nike Air Max DN, which is a new model released from Nike on Nike Air Max Day. So as they're following on from the Air Max TN, the TNs were originally released as a running shoe, and today they are more known as a lifestyle shoe, a very popular one at that. There is 7 general colorways that have been released or going to be released this year. I, of course, went for the brightest, the most standout colorway. This specific colorway is called White Racer Blue Void. These retail at $160, £155. As it is the sequel, the DN actually stands for Dynamic Air, which is a new technology to create a more dynamic heel-to-toe transition. In the most simple way that I can explain, the Air unit is made up of 4 tubes. The front 2 have a lower pressure and the back 2 have a higher pressure, basically where your heel sits. So naturally, when you move, the Air does respond to the pressure. And a direct quote from Nike says the feeling of the heel-to-toe movement is seamless because the Air unit is interacting in real time with your foot and moves with you. This is just being all set up to sound like a really comfortable shoe, so I'm very interested to see when I try this on. But before we get onto that, let's take a closer look into the design of this Air Max DN. On the upper, we have a white fine mesh to create a breathable shoe. We have small rubber lines that run from the front of the toe box all the way to the back of the heel. This pretty much covers the whole entire shoe. These are blue with silver on top, and it'll be interesting to see as well whether they are glow in the dark. And we also have a little Nike swoosh just under the laces. On the front, we have a blue TPU toe cap, and then we have this blue fused material around the bottom edges of the upper to give some extra support, as the upper is basically all mesh. For the eyelets, we have woven loops with some thick white rope laces. Unfortunately, we don't get given any spare laces. The tongue is padding mesh, and halfway up the tongue, we have a stitching separating out the padding, and on the top, we have the new Air Max DN logo. In the middle of the shoe, this is probably one of my favorite parts. We have a portion of the outsole that comes into the midsole and on the upper. We have a rubber layer with a transparent TPU, and then we have a rubber swoosh in this absolutely brilliant blue. In these same materials and exactly same setup, we have this at the back as well, but this time we have an Air Max DN logo in the middle instead of the Nike swoosh. Inside the sneaker, we have white nylon, and we also have the Air Max DN logo as well in the insole. We then have a blue midsole, and we have the impressive part of the 4 tubes with the different pressure points. So just to recap, on the back we have the higher pressure, and then the front 2 tubes we have a lower pressure. The rubber on the outsole at the back as well does run up into the midsole, giving the shoe some shape and really giving it that sporty look. The outsole has a mix of navy rubber with transparent in the middle. Sizing wise for these, interestingly enough, I went down a 0.5 size, and that wasn't actually on purpose. I don't know what happened at the checkout, but I ended up with a 6.5, which is a 0.5 size smaller than my normal true to size, and they actually fit perfectly. Because this sneaker is more of a running design sneaker and is made up of mesh, I do find that these types of silhouettes do fit snug in general, and for me, I don't like it when I have a lot of room. I do want them to fit quite snug. For the average person, I would recommend staying true to size, and if you do have wider feet or you do want some room at the end, I would recommend going up a half size. In terms of comfortability, I do have to admit that they are pretty comfortable sneakers. I could see myself going running in these as they do have a bounce to them. I do actually feel like you are walking on bubbles, or you could definitely have these as an everyday kind of lifestyle sneaker. The only thing for me is that if I was wearing these to the gym, it's kind of like most running shoes, they are quite bouncy and they are quite chunky on the lower half. So I wouldn't wear these for like a leg day because I feel like they're too bouncy. I do have to say though that these were brought out as a new technology. I was expecting the comfortability to just blow me away because of how much kind of detail and technology has actually gone into it, and I don't think I would say that I'm blown away. Yes, they are comfortable, but am I blown away? No. When comparing them to other Nike silhouettes, I wouldn't say that these are, you know, miles off better. Personally, for me, I think if you are going for these sneakers, it's probably going to be more people that are using them as kind of everyday lifestyle sneakers as opposed to actually performance sneakers. If you're still not sure or curious, I would highly recommend taking a look at the other colorways. The pink and black colorway is absolutely beautiful and kind of gives off a whole completely different vibe to this colorway. I do think this colorway is more of a kind of sporty look, but the black and pink maybe you could wear more. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments below about the new Air Max DN. I do think that this is going to be a really popular sneaker, and especially with people that already like the TNs. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed to stay updated with all my latest videos, and I'll see you guys in my next one.